My name is John Maloney and welcome to Blindful Communications, where blind plus mindful equals blindful communications. So yeah, this is the start of a 12-session series on mindful communication. So feel free to click that subscribe button and share it with everybody. I'm also going to put in my description a link to my GoFundMe page, as I'm working on raising funds, surviving month to month. And yeah, if you can help donate, that's fine. If not, that is okay too. Again, if you can share this YouTube video with everybody, basically, that would be great. And this is, I think, video, I'm counting in my head, number 6 so far. So you can watch all my other videos as well by going to my channel, Blindful Communication. That's BLINDFULCOMMUNICATION. So I just like to spell things out sometimes. It's my obsessive compulsive to make sure that everybody gets, I guess everybody gets it right in terms of what the channel is. So yeah, anyways, so what I want to start with first, I want to start with something, it's called a body scan. And this is to help people, feel which part of their bodies are more tense and less tense and help you relax those parts of the body. So if I can ask maybe, just what's it called? Soften your gaze, close your eyes and whatnot. And I just want to, if you're new to my videos, I am blind. So if I'm not looking totally at the camera, my apologies. And this is my bone conduction headphones as I do consult a script in terms of notes. So it's not word for word, but there's, I guess it's not a script, it's more of talking points. So anyways, yeah, soften your gaze and yeah, just take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Now I want you to start at your toes. How do your toes feel? Do they feel tense? Do they feel relaxed? What I want you to do is tense your toes for 3 and relax them for 3. Tense your toes for 3, 2, 3, relax, 2, 3, tense, 2, 3, relax, 2, 3. And now your feet, your whole feet. Maybe they're firmly on the ground, maybe you're cross-legged, doesn't matter, but just, again, tense your feet and relax your feet. 2, 3, tense, 2, 3, relax, 2, 3. Now your lower legs. See how they feel right now. See how they feel, and I want you to tense those calves, or I should say, and shins, just tense them up and relax, 2, 3, tense, 2, 3, relax, 2, 3, tense, 2, 3, relax, 2, 3. Now your upper legs, your hips, your thighs, your buttocks, just tense and relax, just tense, 2, 3, relax, 2, 3, tense, 2, 3, relax, 2, 3. It's funny, when I'm tensing and relaxing, I actually feel myself moving up and down. So I'm just sitting on a chair. So now maybe your abdomen and your lower body, your lower stomach area, just tense and relax. Maybe there's some tension in your abdomen. Maybe you have a little bit of a stress today. Just tense the abdomen and relax, 2, 3. Now your chest, your upper body, your upper torso, just tense it. Oh, and relax. Tense it, 2, 3, relax. Now your shoulders. You can circle them a little bit, move them around in a little circular motion, then just tense your shoulders and relax. Tense your shoulders, 2, 3, and relax. Now your upper arms, your biceps, your triceps, just tense them as well. 2, 3, relax, 2, 3. Tense, 2, 3, relax, 2, 3. And the reason we're doing this is going to help your whole body relax, because when you tense and relax, you're just getting rid of all that tension. You're getting rid of all that stress in your body that your body is holding. Now your lower arms, tense them up and relax them. Tense them up and relax them. Now your hands, just tense those hands up. Tense, 2, 3, relax, 2, 3. Tense, 2, 3, relax, 2, 3. Now your neck and face muscles, just scrunch them and tense them up. Tense them up, 2, 3. Oh, relax, 2, 3. Tense, 2, 3. Relax, 2, 3. Now, if you can, your forehead, your upper head, just tense it up as much as you can. Maybe you got to scrunch up your face like me and relax it. Tense, relax. Now just relax your whole body. Just feel that tension, being released. Yes, and now I guess let's get into it. So what is mindful communication? And basically, mindful communication is just about being with the person in the present, speaking and listening to the person, being present for yourself as well, and being present for the other person. And that means physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually present. So even if you're on the phone with someone and you might not be physically with them, you can still be physically present by, not doing other things, not typing away on your keyboard. Maybe you're on a Zoom call and maybe you need to, but, generally speaking, just be present with the person physically. Sit in a chair, even sit in, if you can, if you got a headset on, if you can sit in an open posture, your arms open, relaxed posture. That's going to come across when you're communicating with the person, even if you're on the phone and they can't see you. Or heck, even when I'm blind and I can't see you, but I can tell. And even me, I mirror an open posture when I'm with people, because I know that body language is important. Right? And then again, when I say mentally, emotionally, and spiritually being with the other person, any thoughts that are in your mind, just let them go. Let them go for now if they don't have, relevance in the conversation. Other videos we talked about being judgment aware. So if you have judgments about the person while you're talking with them, let those judgments go for now. Because when you're judging a person or a situation, in the moment, then sometimes you're not with the person, you're not present with the person, you're not present with yourself. So, and again, emotionally, just be open. When you're open emotionally to the other person's experiences, you can develop empathy a lot faster. When you're emotionally closed off to the other person, again, there could be some judgments there, some biases there. It's really hard for you to empathize with the other person, whether it's in a good conversation or a difficult conversation. Just remember, so when you're open to another person, it emphasizes you're responding thoughtfully rather than reacting automatically. And what I mean by that is when you're thinking about answering a question, when other stuff is going through your brain, you might not be clicking in on the conversation. It could cause you to react versus respond. I know sometimes in the past and sometimes even in the present, when I'm not mindful within a conversation, I might hear a word out of context and that might trigger something for me, and I might be actually reacting automatically to that particular word, when if I were paying attention and I was, heard the context of what the word was being said, within the conversation, I might have a totally different response to the conversation. So just listen so you can respond and not react. And again, this is where you're going to be paying attention to your body too, because sometimes when your body tenses up, when you are stressed, you're more likely to react versus respond, even if your reaction has nothing to do with the conversation. It might have something to do with what happened earlier on in the day and you're just all frustrated. When you're present with the person, when you're mindful of the conversation, you can, control those reactions. So a couple of things that are core to mindful communication is being present, like we were talking about, and being curious. So again, if something's causing you to react, maybe be curious and say, tell me more about that. I'm curious what you meant by that. Don't make assumptions. Again, be judgment aware. Curiosity is better than confrontation. Curiosity is better than assumptions. When we make assumptions, we tend to be less curious. So again, put those assumptions aside and again, be curious. And also compassion. When you feel compassion for other people, when you care for other people, when you're empathetic to other people's plights or successes or fun stuff or not so fun stuff, that really helps create mindful communication. So our words, our tone, and our body language communicate that we're being mindful or communicate that we're not being mindful. So again, words, what we're saying to the person, the tone, how we're saying it, and then again our body language. I used to teach, and I still haven't taught for a while, but I would, as part of behavioral supports, I would actually teach three types of communication. And the three types of communication are nonverbal, vocal, and verbal. And, if we're communicating normally in a setting, basically the breakdown would be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 55% of communication is nonverbal. It's body language. So again, as a blind person, I always knew that it was important for me to understand body language. Even if I don't see it, I know that people will read my body language. And thus, it's important for me to, again, like I said, in an open posture. When I was working with clients who are physically aggressive, it was important for me not to mirror that aggressive body language, but rather understanding that I needed to be in a more, relaxed / defensive posture versus a aggressive offensive posture. So understanding that stuff. Then 38% was vocal. And vocal involves your tone of your voice, your pitch, whether it's low or whether it's high, whether it's low, whether it's high. So when I speak lower, it creates a more relaxed atmosphere. Oh, when I speak high, I might sound a little more rushed. And then again, the speed at which you're talking. So even if I'm talking like this, even if I talk like that in a really low voice, I still sound rushed. But if I'm talking like this, yes, I really understand what you're saying. Well, that's not my voice, but again, right? It creates less, what's the word? I guess rushness, less urgency, I suppose. Excuse me. Excuse me again. And then the last is what you're saying. And that's only 7% of what you're saying when you're communicating with somebody. So again, what you're saying, don't get me wrong, is important, because if you use aggressive words or aggressive language, if you swear, for example, even a swear in a low voice, soft voice, it's still a swear. So just kind of keep that in mind too. So communication shapes relationships. And even in small shifts in communication, even when we move the conversation and make it, especially if it's a really high energy, difficult conversation, the way we speak, it creates shift in the conversation. It creates shifts, and that profoundly impacts relationships. Let's see if I can think of an example. For example, if you're talking to somebody and it's an intense conversation, you just sit back and relax them and say, wow, this is pretty intense right now. And just say nothing after that. And again, right, your tone, what you say. If you're like, this is really intense right now, again, right, it has a different effect than you say, wow, this is really intense right now. You feel the difference in your body. You feel the difference in how the difference is felt when I said it the first way and the second way. So again, it's these small shifts. It's these small little things that really make a huge impact on the way we communicate with each other. And again, the way we communicate with each other impacts our relationships we have with that person or those people. So that's really all I want to talk about into this introduction of mindful communication. But I want to give you some homework. Yes, my friends, it's homework time. So what I want you to do is get a journal, and over the next little while, a few days, whatnot, write down when you've been reactive in a conversation, when you've talked to somebody and just reacted versus responded. How did that impact the conversation you were having with that person, I should say? And how might things have been different if you would have responded versus react? And then again, I also want you to take note of successful conversations you've had with people and what made those conversations successful. Was it that you were present with them? Was it because you were communicating with curiosity and compassion versus judgment and lack of compassion? How did you communicate with that person to really move forward the conversation and to deepen your relationship? So that's it for this, let's call it episode, video, whatever you want to call it, of blindfold communication. I really appreciate the time you took in listening to this, and hopefully something I said resonates with you. Hopefully more than one thing I said resonates with you. And again, if you require my services, if you'd like my services, do a little bit of a, what's the word called? Intake to see if I'm even the right person to support you. I'd really, really appreciate hearing from you. My email address is john, John, at blindjohnny.com. So John at blindjohnny.com. Or my official business email is john at INNERVENTIONS.ca. So John at interventions.ca. And my website is also interventions.ca. But I also have my blindjohnny.com forwarded to my business website as well. I just like blindjohnny.com. It rolls off the tongue. I really appreciate your time. And again, be mindful when you communicate with people. Be mindful when you're with yourself. Again, like I mentioned in the last video about the not to-do list. Don't think mindfulness is a quick fix. You don't have to be perfect at mindfulness. But again, the more you practice it, the better you get at it, just like with any skill. So until next time, remember, blind plus mindful equals blindfold communication.